All right, so this box, I don't know if all of them are packaged like this, because this does match the one that I ordered. We have stereo sound, rechargeable battery, lithium ion, I'm guessing, wireless connectivity, so we're going to be able to use Bluetooth headphones, and record function. And that record function I'm definitely going to circle back to, because I think that is important in a sort of 2025 context of having a tape deck recorder. It's quite a big box. I don't know what to compare that to, but it is quite a big box. All right. Okay, so we've got a quick start guide. And I'm guessing that's going to start us quickly. Instructions. There we go. Cassette playback. Just taking you through the steps, volume, stop, cassette recording, music source, record, blah, blah, blah. I'm ordering blank tapes from Amazon as we speak. Connection, wireless headphones, connecting wireless, there's a button to do that. So we'll get into that. So the quick start guide is going to be pretty handy. Then we've got a user manual. So that's all of the things. And that is, I see there in the manual, the pencil is for winding your tape if there's any tension in your tape. It's just little touches like that make these things very interesting. That's for the UK guys. Here we go. Look at that, eh? Sure, it's quite heavy. Let's quickly get a thing. This is a thing, by the way. All right. 399 grams, so quite a chonker, quite a heavy beast. They do sell a belt clip, but unless you're a serious, cool person who can pull that off, I would not be running around with this on my belt clip. I would put this in my backpack. It's big, it's heavy, it's got sharp metal edges. It's a vibe, it's a whole vibe. So look at that, look at that. Look at the thing of beauty. It's got a yellow record button. That's your Bluetooth pairing button. Stop, play, rewind, fast forward. Okay, and then there's a little notch up here to pull the thing open. There we go. And then you see, so you've got all this sort of real estate here, and it's quite thick compared to the olden day tape decks, and that is because these aren't being mass produced like in the olden days. So Sony were able to sort of make bespoke parts and things to make it very sort of wrap around your cassette, whereas this is a lot more rudimentary than those days. And so we end up with these bigger ones. There is another brand called Fio that is a bit more compact than this, but this has got retro design vibes for days. I mean, look at this color, this pink color, really lovely. Okay, and let's look inside there. There's a record head of a erase head over there. There's a bit to be researched on that as well. Now tape heads, as you can see the tape head over there. Tape heads, we are very limited by this. And these companies now have to ask the factories in China to give them the best tape heads. So some of these tape heads only play in mono, so they can't do a dual-sided tape. There's very bad tape heads out there in the world, and so they have to choose the best ones. And so we are limited. We're not going to get the very best of what was happening in the olden days, but it is a vibe. They use metal flywheels, I believe. There's all sorts of things. I still need to get a bit more clued up on that side of it. Yeah, this tape head is even smaller than what I remember in the olden days. The tape head in the tape cassette player that my daughter is using in her bedroom is bigger than this. So this is a small, it's the janky one from the olden days, and that's the only one that we have right now. So it is a bit of a pity. Hopefully one day we can get better ones. You can see it through the window. So I'll put a bit of B-roll now while I'm talking, because this thing is just a thing of beauty. I mean, it's CNC'd metal that they've put together into a modern cassette player with, the Bluetooth and all that, but just the colors they've used, the metal they've used, just the design choices really are lovely. This back glossy We Are Rewind logo there. It really is spectacular. This is just something else, I tell you what. Charging port. All right, so now for the moment of truth, we are going to play a tape. So my daughter has her Billie Eilish tape that I can also go get for testing, but what I've been excited to play is my Bon Iver cassette tape of his latest album. I'm very excited about that. That's like something special. And then I just got, this is more, I'm not into collectibles, but this is like special. This is the Marvel mix from Guardians of the Galaxy. And so, you know, it's not my type of music and all that, but it's just a lovely collectible. They've gone for all the retro feels from the jewel case they chose to the, you know, the writing of A and B sides for what songs are where. Really cool. So we're going to start with this one because I just think it's got all the retro vibes. Look at that tape. Lovely. So if you are a collector, this is definitely one to go for. So let's see how this goes in now. So just slots in there. They've got some guides over here to put the tape in, and then we just close. All right, so I'm going to take my 1,000-year-old iPhone headphones. All right, so this is unfortunate thing about YouTube is you're not going to know what I'm hearing, and hopefully I got a bit of charge here. I'm going to put it here so you can see the tape turning. Woohoo! It's so cool. So I got an old hi-fi from my mother-in-law for my daughter to play her Billie Eilish tape, and that cassette player has not been used in many, many years because when we used it when we were at university, and this is like many, many years ago, we never used that cassette player, so it's probably dirty, and it was very muffled, so I thought, oh, this is something to get used to, this muffled sound, but the audio quality here is far superior. The thing that you are going to have to deal with is that flutter and that wobble. It's part of the vibe. You can set it, but I just don't think you should be getting too scientific with these things because it's just the vibe. I think perhaps if we as consumers get more into this, the wow and flutter will get better. And like I say, I can get into this. I'll find the software and see what I can do about that. But I just don't think we should be getting too picky about the wow and flutter on these new devices because it's early days and hopefully we can improve. Okay, so that was cool, but I'm not used to this tape or this music. I've been listening to this album on repeat for quite some time now. So I don't think this has got to auto play the other way. I'll report back after I've listened to this for a while. So there. So I just love the little window. Okay. It's a spiritual experience. If you're a kid of the 90s, like this is just it's gonna blow your hair back. Like playing this, I've been listening to this via Spotify on my JBL Go 5 or whatever, a very nice Bluetooth speaker. That's what I've been playing this on. Great audio quality, like very nice Bluetooth audio quality. There's something very cool about playing it on one of these. This thing is big, you know, I'll do a little size comparison now, but man, what a vibe. Okay, I'm gonna get my daughter's Billie Eilish because I do think that tape deck we've been using sucks, so I'm gonna get that one quickly. Okay, so here we go, Billie Eilish, Happier Than Ever. I don't know, man, this is really special. I've been watching some videos and the guys get they're audiophiles, and audiophiles are like known pedantic, over-the-top people. And I feel like you can't ignore the nostalgia, and not just the nostalgia, just the vibe in general is just quite lovely. Obviously this is an unboxing and you do get excited in these moments, but I will definitely finish this video off after a few hours of messing around and let you know what I think. Okay, Billie Eilish, let's see. I hope we haven't damaged this tape with that other hi-fi. I think what's so great is that the audio quality is quite poor on the hi-fi that we've been using, and so I've been primed to like lower my expectations when this arrives. The audio quality is really good. It's got a sort of natural, slightly more muffled, warmer tone that you would experience on CD or on MP3 or on your streaming. And I think maybe they added noise to this because there's a hissing sound on this album that I didn't hear on the Bon Iver. I gotta say, I'm just completely blown away. Like, this is a wonderful, wonderful experience. And unfortunately, tapes are the same price as CD, and CD is just objectively better in almost every single way, and we will talk about CD in a future video. But man, you can't get away from the nostalgic vibe. And also, there's a concept that I've been thinking about a lot, is that a lot of the people who are into this sort of thing don't have nostalgia for this era. My daughter was born after 2010. She's young. And she has absolutely no connection to the 90s apart from me and my wife playing some 90s music here and there. But she doesn't want my old CDs and my old tapes. She wants Billie Eilish, she wants Sabrina Carpenter on cassette to play on something like this, which there is definitely a connection to this that is more than just nostalgia. And that's one of the reasons why I think this is a great thing to come back in 2025. The other part of it is, I'm going to test it, is this input. So we now have our streaming services. So I can get my phone, I can get like an output dongle like this, and then I will get a jack to jack, and I will connect to here, and I will make a playlist of songs. Like, for instance, I was thinking about Green Day. I'd love to make a mixtape with like Green Day and Metallica and a bunch of like old music, and record it into here and make your mixtapes that way. So we're gonna have better quality mixtapes than we did in the olden days, because we were taping songs from the radio, which was already poor quality. This is gonna be much higher quality, and so I'm quite interested to see the quality that it records at, because the creation of a mixtape, there's a physical, tactile, like contact with the music and with the artist that is quite special. And also for musicians, like, to create tapes now, far cheaper to create. If you're an artist, to sell physical media from your website or at your gigs, you are going to make more money than streaming on Spotify. And so if we can just get people back on board with this sort of thing, I think it's just fantastic. Let's test big drivers and let's see what the audio quality is like for that. So the problem with bigger drivers is, depending on the output here, you may have some issues in terms of what DAC they've installed there. So I haven't done any research on the DAC and that. I know that the CD player that I'm getting has got a very good DAC in it, and so it will push great audio to these headphones. Sounding good so far. Yeah, very clear voice coming through. Yeah, I'm not hearing it struggle. I'm not, like, there's a certain sound that you get when it's struggling to push the audio to bigger drivers like this. No issues here. These are Shure SRH 840s. I don't know about you, but growing up, I used to read the manual for everything. I know, and a lot of people didn't. I used to read through every little detail for every product that we had in the house. So I'm going to listen to Bon Iver, and I hope that you will stick around for the main video, which will be exciting because I am going to put this thing through its paces. I'm going to do quite a lot of research and give you a nice video essay style video about cassette tapes and this cassette tape player in particular.